we take pride in producing quality products still made here in the United States. What we're going to do today is take you through 10 major steps in how to assemble this game so that you can be playing with your family and your friends in no time at all. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the box and take a look at the contents. One thing that I would do is to take the cardboard, the last piece of cardboard. You can actually assemble your game on this piece of cardboard. So the first thing we're going to do is take one of our sides and position it on the cardboard with the bearings in the down position. And we're going to install the goalie end board and position it with the two pre-drilled holes on the end there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the screws in so they're loose. We don't want to tighten the screws until the very end. So after you're finished with the first goalie end board, then you're going to repeat the steps for the second goalie end board. But make sure that you don't tighten the screws up all the way. And if you have tightened them up, back them up a little bit so that it remains loose. That'll make it a whole lot easier for assembling the cabinet for final adjustment in the end. So the next step is to take your play surface and to lay it on the goalie end boards. Now a trick to this is start one end of the corner in one end first. And then slide the other one in to you. So that fits snug in there. Next step is we're going to take the other side, making sure that the bearings are on the bottom, white surface is in. I'm just going to line it up. Make sure that the inside play surface is seated inside the groove and that you're snug, not over tight on your sides to the goalie boards. Step 2, we're going to install the ball returns on the cabinet ends using from the hardware pack 1/2-inch panhead screws. Put the part on here, you'll notice that on the ends we have pre-drilled hole, 4 pre-drilled holes. We're going to line up those holes with the end, with each of the ends. We're just going to repeat the same steps for the next one. In step 3, what we're going to do is install the cabinet ends with the previously installed ball returns on either end. There are pre-drilled pilot holes, and you want to make sure you hit those, but if you line up the edges, the corners, you're going to be in great shape. We're just going to tighten them up slightly, not all the way, so we can make our final adjustment. Now that we're finished with this end, we'll just repeat the steps for the final end. The next step is we're going to center the play surface on the cabinet and then screw it down with 1-inch number 6 screws. And we'll repeat this on the other side. Step 4, we're going to install the support strip. You'll notice that the bottom has a mark on it, and this mark needs to go against the play surface. Once again, we have pre-drilled holes, so you want to make sure that you center the strip around the hole, and you'll be able to feel that and make sure that your screws are in fact going into the pre-drilled holes. Now that we're finished with this side, we'll install the other 2 screws on the other side and then align and tighten all of the screws around the cabinet. In step 5, what we're going to do is install the legs. But before we install the legs, we're going to do some leg preparation for the chrome tubes. What you do is take your legs and stand them up. What we're going to do is position the bolt holes out of each corner. Then we're going to lay them down flat. You're going to need a pencil and a ruler. And from each bottom end, you're going to scribe a mark at 7 inches. You do this on each leg. Next is you're going to take your chrome tube flanges and just center them on the leg with the bottom of the flange on the 7-inch mark that you just made. You're going to take the screw, 1/2-inch screw, the next step will be to install the plastic inserts in the bottom of the legs. When the leg leveler insert is fully assembled, it's going to be a very, very tight fit, very snug, and when you're pounding it down, you may see some debris come off, but that's normal. Now we're going to install one of the legs. You'll notice there are 2 bolt holes on each side. You want to choose a leg that both of these align with the holes in the cabinet and the chrome tube flange is facing the other side. We're going to install this with the leg bolts with a washer, and you're going to lift up on the leg and align it with the top hole in the leg. Now with a 9/16 box end wrench, you're going to tighten all of the bolts. Now we're going to install the next leg opposite side with the chrome tube. Installing the opposite leg like we did before, we're going to line these bolt holes, these corner bolt holes, with the bolt holes on this corner. Now the chrome flange support has to face the other support. And at the same time, we're going to install the chrome tube in both flanges. We're going to line up the bolts. Now tighten each of the bolts to the leg. Now that we're finished, we'll repeat the process for the other side. The next step is we'll install the leg levelers. You just insert the bolt into each of the bottom of the legs. What you want to do is draw this all the way down. And you'll repeat that step for the next 3 legs. The next step is we're going to rotate the table in the upright position, making sure that we don't rest the weight of the table on an angle with the legs and cause some damage. So we want to rotate it with one fluid motion so the table's resting on all 4 legs. Next, we'll just install the ball entry cups on each side of the table. Next, we're going to install the goalie cover plate. And you're going to center the cover plate on the top here, and you're going to use the number 6 5/8 inch flathead screws. repeat this step for the other side. Next, we'll install the score bead assemblies. Insert the ends into the holders. And then use two flathead 2-inch screws and screw down the assemblies in the pre-drilled pilot holes. And we'll repeat this process for the next side. Next, we'll install the double head screws, one on each corner. Next, we'll install the cup holder corners by sliding down the plastic until it locks in with the two double head screws on each side. We'll repeat this step for the next 3 cup holders. Now we're at step 8. We're going to be installing the rods and the men on the rods. But before I talk about that, I want to discuss the men. We have 2 types of men. We have the black and yellow men, which are our premium signature line. They are premium because they are counterweighted in their heads. But I've laid everything out here, and one of the first things we recommend is that you take the rods and you wipe them down, and just to kind of clean them, wipe off any excess, if there's any dirt, any excess dirt or lubricant. And I think now we'll get started with the rods. If you look at your instructions, you'll see how to lay out the rods, and what I've done here is I'm going to start with the yellow men here, defenders. And the first thing you're going to do is put on the wooden handles, and you'll see that it has a pre-drilled and tapped hole with a hole in the handle, and you're just going to slide that through until you see the hole, and you're going to install the black screws. Once the handle's on, first of all, we're going to slide it through bearing hole, and then we're going to install a bumper, and then a washer, and then 3 men. Now the men are at the goalie position. Again, we're doing a 3-man goalie position. Now you'll also see in the instructions that you can set up for a 1-man goalie position, and if you're going to do that, there's special clamps to put in the other 2 positions, as well as corners for the ball to roll back down. Today we're going to just install a 3-man goalie position. So we have a bumper, a washer, the 3 men, another washer, and another bumper. And the holes are pre-punched, so you just line up your men on the hole and insert the screw. In the lock washer, you're going to put the flathead of the lock washer inside of the screw. And tighten the screw. Now we're finished with our first rod, we'll install the next rods in the sequence of the order laid out in the instruction manual. Now we'll install all the rod end caps. As you can see, we finished installing the rest of the men on the rods per the instruction manual. The men are all facing the same direction as their goalies, as well as this is the premier set, as I indicated before, because whatever position you put the men in, they'll stay. And that's because of the precision weighting of the men, the counter weighting of the men. And make sure that after you're done positioning the game where you like it, use a level to make sure that the playing surface and the game is level both on the side and on the end. This completes the assembly of our signature Moroccan foosball game. Thank you for choosing Carrom. We've been manufacturing quality family fun for 125 years.